From beginning to the end, there's no place for argument. You are God all by yourself. Hello there, hello there. God bless you so much. Thank you for joining me again on this last portion of our message today concerning the deep sleep. We didn't have it was a six section messages that I believe that you can go to the YouTube and have them. And God bless you. Today is the last one. We started by looking at what a sleep is, a condition of inactivity, a condition of unawareness, a condition that comes to people, especially at night. And know we are in a 24-hour system in the world today, and so people can sleep at day and work at night, but usually night was meant for sleep, and that's why many activity the enemy takes advantage over the activities of the night. That's why I mentioned that most of the evil activities happen at night. The robbery, most of the deaths do happen at night. A lot of prostitution, brothels, all these areas and territories like of the liquor stores and the disco places and the pubs and bars and all, they open at night, and it is because there is the powers of night that rule. But that's not our focus today. Our focus is that surely a sleep can also be, if you don't take care, you can slide into spiritual sleep, a condition that is of inactivity, and that one you can one can slide into it in various ways. One of them we found it was in the days of Jonah, who slided into sleep, and instead of going to go and preach the gospel, he was under the deck of at the deck of the bottom deck, of course, of the ship, was being tossed out and about by the winds, and but he could not even realize where he was. He was in dead sleep, a rebellion, and standing against the will and the plan of God. We also found out about the disciples with Jesus Christ on the mountain, supposed to pray, but they did not. The enemies were not asleep, but then they were asleep, and they were arrested. You see what happened on that Gethsemane, that last day of our Lord and Savior physically here on earth. And then we also went through the Samson kind of a sleep, who slept on the lap of a woman, presumptuously thinking that everything is okay, but everything was not okay. His eyes were gouged out, and he went through a terrible time because of sleeping and joking and playing games with the people that he was supposed to be fighting against. We also found out the Eutychus, this was a man of God, so to say, a believer who had come, of course, to listen to Paul preaching, but started at the window, a place of compromise, a place of distraction, a place of comfort, and he slided into deep sleep, looking unto the world and also looking to the church, lukewarmness of Laodicea, and he fell down and died. And Paul prayed for him to rise up again. And today, and also we also looked into what we call the sleep of a sluggard in the book of Proverbs 24. So the people who just are lazy into doing anything for the kingdom for themselves, and of course poverty and scarcity strike them like a bandit. And we see how to get out of this. The last one today is the foolish virgin sleep. This is the sleep of the virgins who are women. This was in the days of the book of Matthew chapter 25. Women virgins, it means that they were sinless. They were people who were righteous, purity in the house of God, so to say. But even though they were not ready, they had the but they were not ready for the coming of our Lord and Savior, or their master, according to the parable given. And so they were casted out and rejected by God. Why? Because they went into sleep instead of being active. We say the sleep is a condition of inactivity, unawareness, and lack of control of whatever is happening in the environment. That's how these people were. They were having a situation in a time of slumbering, resting for movement instead of being cautious and awareness. People who are awake spiritually, waiting for their master, waiting for our Lord and Savior who is about to be manifested in a day. But you find that these were virgins, which means they were sinless. This is not the people of the world who do not know God. These are people who are supposed to know God. But even though they know they are God, they are not doing exploits for the kingdom. They are not living a life of aware that their master is about to appear. And so this should be awakened at the time that the Messiah, that their leader, their master is coming. And this is our Lord and Savior. So in these last days, in conclusion, we are supposed to be very much awake and aware of the things that are happening in our world today. People that are aware, people that are aware, they can control the environment through prayer. And these people are supposed to be active in serving the Lord and doing what God left them to do. They are all of anointing, supposed to be working miracles. And so I'm not saying that they do miracles, but should be praying for people, preaching this gospel, doing the things that God expects them to be doing. If they ignore that one, then God will reject them. God is calling us to awaken up again in Jesus. In all this kind of sleep and slumber, in all these activities that people are slided into, we're in a world where people are so much comfortable. People want things be done for them. Pastor, pray for them. Pastor, do everything for them. Leaders do, elders do things for them. Lead them, bless them, and do all. But they don't want to give to the work of God without complaining. They don't want to put an input in prayer. Waking at 3 a.m. in the morning. Witches are waking, but they can't wake. Enemies are rising up, but they can't rise up. The enemies are not sleeping, but they want to sleep. It's a comfort. And comfort will bring any kind of a sleep. Just like in the days of Jonah, Eutychus, Samson, mention them all. Disciples is a season and a time of comfort. And we got to wake ourselves and walk away from the same, because we need to have the discipline and the order that God is calling us for. I speak a blessing upon from today. You'll not slide into comfort. You be aware of the things that are happening. Whether it's coronavirus, people are dying without Jesus, and people are going to hell. People are also going to heaven, yes. And so we need to awaken up and do what God is calling us to do, that the name and the precious name of our Lord Jesus Christ be glorified. May God bless you. May God anoint you. May God empower you to be awakened, to be aware, to be alert, to be conscious, and in the name of that, to be able to control the environment through power of prayer in Jesus' name. I love you and I bless God because of you. Thank you so much for what you do for the work of the ministry. Keep on tuning in into my channel, and God bless you so much, and do be blessed. This is Francis Kangangi. God do you well in the name of the Lord, and you will be blessed to the glory and praise of his name. Let's keep on serving the Lord, and the name of the Lord will be glorified in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. You come for light, I love darkness. God bless you. See you.